Hello and welcome back to the Tin Barn. I'm Pragmatic Lee, and in this week's video we're going to do a little bit of shop organization again. We're going to look at putting together a rack, a mount if you will, to hold my various cordless drills and drivers. So stick with me. We'll have this knocked out in just a few minutes. Got a piece of our PVC stock mounted in the mill now, on the mill table. I've got some V-blocks down here wedged into place from both sides and got a mark on the table giving me the approximate length to set them at. Got them squared up so that when I put this cradle in there, when I cradle the PVC in these V-blocks, I can repeat that for the remainder of the pieces as well. What we want to do first though, before we start milling out the slot, I want to drill all the way through. It'll be mounted from this side. This will be hanging down. It's upside down now. But what I want to do is drill a hole at 3 inches, 3.5 inches, and one at 10 inches. And what I've done is just set the point of the drill at 0 or at the edge here by eye and zeroed out the x-axis. So let's come in 3.5 inches. And my quill will go down 3 inches. This is 3.5 inches, so I'll have to drop the z-axis a little bit once we make the first cut here. So I'll just drop the z-axis a little bit. Now we should be able to reach the drill all the way through. All right, that was the 3.5 inch mark. We'll do the same thing at the 10 inch. I'm drilling these holes now in this same setup as the milling out the slot so that the holes are directly across from the slot. All right, now I'm going to take the drill out and put a 1/2 inch end mill in. I'll bring you right back. From the point that I want this to bump into here would be right here. So from there to the back edge of the drill is 5¼ inch deep. So we're going to put a little mark at 5¼ here. Just a sharpened mark is plenty close enough for this measurement. But I used a set of used a set of comparators here and got the width of the portion of the body of the drill that will be riding in the cradle. That was 1.2 inches. I added 0.150 just for clearance, so that gives us 1.35. 1.35 divided by 2 is 0.675, but then I need to take out half of the width of the end mill I'm using, which is a 1/2 inch, so take 1/4 from that. That leaves 425 thousandths that we need to offset off of each side of 0. Make sure it's plenty deep enough to to cut all the way through. Now we're going to traverse over to our Sharpie mark. All right, now we're going to step over 425 thousandths on the other side of 0. All right, of course, being a piece of round stock, that lost considerable rigidity cutting that slot out. But it only chipped out just a minor little piece on this end. So we should be able to come out here now and do a quick test fit. I'm sure this clamp's going to be in the way, so I'll move that bolt. That looks just right. Let me take it out, turn it over so you can see it in its natural habitat or natural position. All right, this will be hanging under the shelf, and there will be 4 of these lined up in a row. So I'm going to do the other 3 pieces, and then we'll go over to the mill or to the lathe and make a few offsets on here, remember? Or what we've got to do is offset this top edge down about a ½ inch for the lip that's on the shelf that this will mount under. Okay, before we leave the mill, I want to take our shelf that we're going to be using and mill some slots in it for these holes that we put, mounting holes. These will be mounted like this. Of course, everything is upside down now. Over here on the end, I marked 3½ inches and the 10-inch mark. And the 10-inch location. Right now I've got the 10-inch location centered up over the center T-slot in my mill table. And I've got it clamped down as best I think I can. Don't have a whole lot of clearance left here, but this will get it out to, let's see, about 2 3/4 inches from the edge. This will actually hold 5 of these holders. 5 would fit in here. 4 is all I've got right now, and I'm not going to cut the 5th one out because I simply do not know what tool, what cut I might need for whatever the 5th tool might be. So I'm just going to mill as much as I can out, reaching to the sides as much as I can. If and when I add the 5th one in there, I may have to set this back up, turn it over, figure some way to hold it, and mill just a little bit closer, another ½ inch or so to the edge. But we're going to try this now. The mill should go right down the center of the center T-slot in my mill table. All right, that is through. I'm using a 5/16 end mill just to give a little bit of clearance for the 1/4 inch bolts I'll be using. Now I expect this to get a little bouncy right here toward the middle since there's nothing to support this 19 inches in the center here. Being sure that end mill is in the center of that T-slot. Don't want to be messing up my table. All right, that's got the 10 inch slot done. don't have enough travel, wide travel on my mill bed to reach this one. So I'm going to take this setup down, turn it around, do the same thing for the 3.5 inch mark. Then we'll go over to the lathe to cut our spacers. Okay, I got you over here at overhead view of the lathe again. Got a piece of 3/4 inch aluminum stock in here. Excuse me. And I've got the tailstock turret in. So what we're going to do is just set us a hole. Now we're going to back out and probably drill about the depth of what we can drill with this bit. All right, so we'll just back tailstock out of the way now. Come in and get ready to part off. We need at least a 1/2 inch. I'm gonna go probably 5/8. A little less than 5/8. We'll zero out the Z right there. And we'll come in about 575 thousandths. That ought to be good. And part it off. All right, I'm going to repeat that process until I've got 8 of these. I want to be sure I got clearance. All right, like I say, I'm going to repeat this process until I've got 8 of these offsets. And then we'll meet back over on the bench and put the pieces together. All right, now we're ready to start mounting the pieces we milled out to our shelf with the slots in it. I've already got one of them mounted. This is the one for the 18-volt skill. It was obviously different than the other two. But we start out with a 1/4 bolt, spacer, we'll thread this through the back hole. Have to kind of reach in there and hold it. Then we do the same thing with our top hole. And right here is what the spacer was about. See, there's a lip on the front of this, and I wanted the holders to be below that lip. So for now, we're just going to slide this on down here. Get the other two mounted in. Then I'll space them out evenly on the shelf and get the shelf mounted on the wall, and we'll do a quick recap. Okay, well, here we go. I've got the shelf mounted on the wall now. I've got several of these shelves over here that I've got my Raspberry Pi computer on, battery backup for the laptop computers. Over here on this side, got several of these shelves with the parts bins on it. So I put this one in the middle. As you can see, I got my chargers wall mounted over here for the DeWalt and the Skill. But I think this is going to work pretty good. Very simple to put in and out. They're out of the way. Easy to use. This is just a kit that goes with the driver. But I hope you got a little bit out of this video. Maybe some ideas on shop organization for yourself. Take care, and we'll see you on the next video.